please go to showall.php and remove the echo statement on line 20. Then close your PHP bracket and reopen it. In the space that we've made, set up a div with the class results and common. In your style sheet, you'll want to set up some rules for the results div. I suggest a padding of 20 pixels, a light color background, and a minimum height of 150 pixels. Inside the results div, we want to have our event name and date in bold. To help yourself set this up, you can put in some placeholder text first. And if you preview this, you can see that we've got a whole lot of placeholder headings and what looks like some white boxes that are very close together. To separate the boxes, you can simply put in a break tag after the end of your div. A reminder that it is a good idea to comment the end of your div, and you also want to indent the content inside the div to make it easy to read your code. And when we reload, we can see that our boxes are now nicely separated. And if you validate the code, you should have no errors or warnings. At this point, I'm going to give myself a little bit of space just to make it. And instead of having event name, open and close a PHP bracket, echo, find rs variable and 2 square brackets, remembering the semicolon. And then inside, we need to put in the event name. And the easiest way to do that correctly is to go into phpMyAdmin, retrieve the event name, copy it, and paste it in. We want to do an almost identical thing with the date. First, set up your statement inside the brackets this time, and then retrieve the column name. A reminder that you can click on the column name and it will appear at the top, which makes it very easy to copy and paste, remembering of course to put in those speech marks. And we can confirm that we now have a heading and a date which we're going to further develop in the near future. Underneath our heading, we're wanting to put in a paragraph with the description. So I always start by opening and closing my p tags, making sure that I've indented, setting up the structure, and then retrieving the exact column name. We can of course save and preview. At this stage, I'm going to put in an image on the left-hand side of the text. In your style sheet, please set up a rule called something like holiday illustration. I've set the max width to 150 pixels. The height is auto, and I'm going to float this image to the left so that the text is to the right. And after doing some experimenting, I know that I need to have a padding of the right so that there's a space between the image and the text. If you're using the entire data set and you're on project space, your teacher should be able to tell you where the images are hosted. Your URL should be different to mine unless you happen to be at Massey High School. If you're using XAMPP on your own device, or if perhaps you're only featuring 20 unofficial holidays, you will need an images folder where you can then copy and paste the images into that folder. And of course, if you're on Project Space and only doing 20 entries, you will need an images folder on Project Space where you upload those images. As this video is getting a little bit long, I'm actually going to show you how to set up your images in the next video.